There's a reason your spirit paused here. It wasn't the algorithm. It was alignment, an activation, not by chance, but by something far greater than your own will. For just a few moments, the noise of the world, the endless distractions and draining chatter has been quieted because something within you is ready to remember. That sense of being misunderstood, of carrying an invisible burden, is not a defect. It is the imprint of your calling. Your solitude was never abandonment. It was divine insulation. The betrayals weren't failures. They were reinforcements. You've been living within a sacred paradox, thinking you were losing a battle, when in truth your victory was secured long before the war ever began. This isn't a hopeful message. It's a proclamation of truth. To receive this transmission fully, you must ground its energy. Like this video to lock in the frequency. Subscribe to align with a collective of sovereign souls who no longer wait for permission to rise. Comment 77, the divine code that affirms your soul's full, fearless agreement. Let this audio flow in the background, reprogramming your subconscious with the truth of your power. Chapter 1, The Forging of the Army. They told you your sensitivity was a weakness. That was the first lie. Your sensitivity is sacred. It was the raw material through which your protection was crafted. Every deception, every betrayal was not a wound to your soul. It was a strike of the hammer against the anvil of your spirit, shaping you with divine intention. Think back to the moments of deep isolation, those nights when the silence roared louder than your thoughts. That was not emptiness. That was sacred preparation. True transformation never happens in the crowd. It happens in the quiet, where no eyes are watching. It was there in that silence that you heard it, the ringing of celestial metal being molded, not just into armor, but into purpose. The heat you felt, the burning shame from a false accusation, the fire of indignation from a deep betrayal, was not meant to consume you. It was the celestial fire of the forge, tempering your spirit, making it resilient, unbreakable. The world saw you withdraw and called you broken. They saw you build walls and called you fearful. The truth is, you were under divine construction. The architect of your soul was building a fortress, and the foundation had to be laid in the bedrock of solitude. The constant pressure you felt, the feeling of being squeezed from all sides, was the precise force needed to fuse this divine material into something impenetrable. It was a spiritual compression, turning the carbon of your trials into the diamond of your resilience. Every tear you shed was not a sign of sorrow, but a quenching agent, cooling the celestial metal of your spirit, hardening it against any future heat. You can feel it now, can't you? A subtle shift in your physical presence, a groundedness that was not there before, a stillness in your heart, even when the world around you is in chaos. This is the physical sensation of the armor settling into place. It carries a weight not of burden, but of substance and reality. It is not a metaphor. It is a tangible spiritual reality. The people who inflicted this pain were not your enemies. They were your unwilling blacksmiths. They were tools in the hands of the divine, swinging their hammers of malice and envy, entirely unaware that they were not destroying you, but perfecting your defense. Their role in your story was preordained, a necessary evil to facilitate a divine good. They thought their words were poison, but they were only alchemy, turning your perceived vulnerabilities into the very source of your power. Their greatest mistake was believing you were like them. They operate on a plane of ego and manipulation, while you were being reconstructed on a plane of divine purpose. This is why their attacks now feel different. They no longer land with the same impact. It is like throwing stones at a mountain. You feel the vibration, you are aware of the attempt, but you are not moved, you are not damaged. The forging is complete. The pain of the past was the price of your invincibility. Chapter 2, The Unbreakable Sheen. The armor you now wear is not merely a defensive mechanism. It is an active, living extension of divine law. Its surface possesses a quality that human optics cannot perceive, but the spirit realm cannot ignore. A perfect reflective sheen. It is a spiritual mirror of absolute clarity. In the past, when attacks came, you absorbed them. You processed the poison. You internalized the blame. You carried the weight of their projections. That phase is over. Now, when a weapon is formed against you, be it a word of gossip, a thought of envy, a prayer for your downfall, it no longer seeks entry into your spirit. It cannot. Instead, it strikes the surface of your divine armor and is instantly, perfectly reflected back to its source. This is the great script flip. This is the divine reversal that has been initiated in your life, an unbreakable law of spiritual physics. The law is simple. Every ounce of energy dispatched with malicious intent is returned to the sender in equal measure, amplified by the purity of the mirror it struck. They are not being punished by some external force. They are being forced to experience the reality of their own creation. The confusion you will begin to see in their eyes is the result of this reflection. They will accuse you of being cold or distant, when what they are truly feeling is the chill of their own lovelessness reflected back at them. They will claim you are arrogant or prideful because they are being confronted with the blinding light of your divine sovereignty, a light that exposes their own insecurity. They will stare at you with bewildered frustration, trying to locate the person they thought they knew, unable to comprehend that they are only seeing the ugliness they carry inside themselves. They are, for the first time, being forced to look at themselves, and they are mistaking their own reflection for you. This is why their plots unravel. They will attempt to sow chaos in your life, only to find their own affairs descending into inexplicable disorder. They will try to tarnish your name with lies, only to find their own credibility evaporating before their very eyes. They are not fighting you anymore. They are fighting a perfect, unwavering reflection of their own inner state. You do not need to participate in this process. You do not need to explain, defend, or retaliate. Your only assignment is to stand in your truth, to remain anchored in your peace. The armor does the work. It is an automated system of divine justice. In the coming weeks, pay attention. You will hear whispers of their self-inflicted misfortunes. You will see the consequences of their own choices manifest in their lives with startling speed. Do not feel pity. Do not feel guilt. This is not your karma. It is theirs, delivered with divine precision. Your peace is the ultimate trigger for this reflective property. The more centered you become, the clearer the mirror and the more potent the reflection. They meant to make you a casualty, but God has made you a mirror. They wanted to see you break, but now they are forced to see themselves. And what they are seeing is finally breaking them. Chapter 3. The exhaustion of the enemy. There is a deep and pervasive exhaustion setting in among those who set themselves against you. It is a spiritual burnout, a profound fatigue that no amount of sleep can cure. This is because they have been waging a war against an opponent who does not fight back in a way they can understand. They are shadowboxing with God. They invested immense energy into their campaigns against you. They spent sleepless nights plotting, hours gossiping, and vast emotional capital fueling their envy and resentment. They were sprinting a marathon, convinced your downfall was just around the next corner. But you never fell. Every scheme they launched was a weapon that simply vanished upon impact, absorbed and neutralized by the divine field that surrounds you. Now they are standing in the wreckage of their own efforts, panting, confused, and depleted. Their spiritual wells are dry. Their energy source was a cheap, disposable battery of malice. Yours is a direct conduit to the sun. There is no contest. You will begin to notice this in your interactions with them or in the reports you hear from others. Their attacks will become sloppy, desperate, and predictable. The carefully constructed masks they wore will begin to slip, revealing the frantic, tired desperation underneath. You will see a hollowness in their eyes that was not there before, a vacancy left by a spirit that has spent its last reserves fighting a holy war on the wrong side. The narcissist will lose their eloquent charm, resorting to crude insults. The manipulator will find their intricate webs of lies so tangled that they trap themselves. The gossip will find that no one is listening anymore, their stories having lost all potency. They are running on fumes. This exhaustion is a critical sign of your victory. A depleted enemy cannot wage an effective war. They expected you to be the one who was drained, broken, and begging for mercy. Instead, you are radiant, peaceful, and gaining strength by the day. Your stillness is maddening to them. Your joy is a constant, piercing reminder of their failure. They cannot comprehend how you are thriving amidst the very chaos they engineered to destroy you. They look at you and see a puzzle they cannot solve, and the mental energy they expend trying to figure you out is draining the last of their reserves. This is a spiritual law. Energy invested in destruction ultimately consumes the destroyer. Energy invested in peace, in truth, in divine alignment is infinitely renewable. You are connected to an inexhaustible power source. They are running on a finite battery of ego and malice, and that battery is now flashing red. In the days ahead, you will witness them make critical errors, not out of stupidity, but out of pure exhaustion. They will expose themselves. They will contradict their own lies. They will lash out at the wrong people. Your role is simply to observe. You are the immovable object, and they are the spent force that has crashed against you one too many times. Their fatigue is the proof of your anointing. Their burnout is the signal of your breakthrough. They are tired because divinity itself has been fighting on your behalf, and the battle has worn them down to nothing. Chapter 4, the calibration of grace. Now that the external battlefield has been neutralized, the true work begins. This work is not a struggle, but a surrender. It is the calibration of your entire being to a new frequency, the frequency of grace. For so long, your system has been attuned to survival. Your senses were on high alert, scanning for threats. Your mind was a fortress, analyzing every word for hidden meanings. Your body was braced for impact. This was a necessary phase, but it is now obsolete. The armor is in place. The perimeter is secure. It is time to demobilize the internal soldiers and allow the essence of peace to flood your system. This is your season of blessings. But blessings cannot enter a system that is still configured for war. The calibration of grace is the process of teaching your body, mind, and spirit that it is safe to receive. It is safe to be soft. It is safe to prosper. This means unlearning the belief that every good thing comes with a hidden cost or a future punishment. You will feel this physically. The chronic tension in your shoulders and jaw will begin to dissolve. You may find yourself sleeping more deeply than you have in years. As your subconscious finally receives the signal that the watch is over, you may experience sudden waves of emotion. Not sadness, but a profound release, as years of stored trauma are gently flushed from your system. Do not resist this. It is a spiritual detox, making space for joy to take root. The universe is preparing your vessel to hold the immense blessings that have been stored for you. This calibration will also manifest in your external world. Synchronicities will become your new normal. The right people will appear at the precise moment you need them. Opportunities that you thought were lost will suddenly reappear, cleared of all previous obstacles. Money will begin to flow to you from unexpected sources, not as a reward for your struggle, but as a natural consequence of your new, frictionless alignment with abundance. This is not magic. It is physics. A spirit calibrated to grace and receptivity becomes a magnet for all things that share that same frequency. This grace also acts as a buffer, creating a perimeter of peace around you that makes struggle and strife unable to find purchase. During this time, your only task is to notice and to give thanks. Notice the perfect timing. Notice the ease. Notice the way the world seems to be rearranging itself to support you. Each time you acknowledge these moments of grace, you deepen the calibration. You are strengthening the new neural pathways of receiving. The old voice of lack and fear may try to interject, warning you that it is too good to be true. Recognize this voice for what it is, a ghost from an old, defunct operating system. Thank it for its past service in keeping you safe and then gently let it go. You are being upgraded. You are being recalibrated to your original divine blueprint, a state of effortless flow, profound peace, and radical abundance. This is your birthright, now fully restored. Chapter 5, the emblem of sovereignty. As the armor has settled and grace has begun its calibration, a new feature has become illuminated upon your spiritual signature. It is an emblem, a unique crest of light that sits upon the chest plate of your divine armor. This emblem is the mark of your sovereignty. It is the visual representation in the spirit realm of your direct connection to the divine, unmediated by any person, system, or institution. Your loneliness was the training ground for this sovereignty. While others were outsourcing their power to groups, to leaders, to ideologies, you were forced to find it within yourself. You had no choice but to cultivate a direct, personal, and unshakable line of communication with your Creator. That connection, forged in isolation and fire, has now solidified into this emblem. It signifies that you are not a follower. You are a waypoint. You are not a sheep. You are a shepherd of your own destiny. This emblem of sovereignty is what makes you untraceable to the systems of control. They cannot profile you. They cannot predict your next move. Their psychological tactics, their methods of manipulation and gaslighting are utterly useless against you. These tactics rely on an emotional hook, a need for approval or a fear of rejection that no longer exists within you. They are casting lines into a river where you no longer swim. You are a self-contained, self-validating, sovereign entity. This emblem is your spiritual declaration of independence, recognized across all realms as a binding and absolute truth. This is terrifying to them. A sovereign individual is the greatest threat to a system built on codependence and control. In the coming days, you will feel this sovereignty solidify within you. It will manifest as a newfound inability to tolerate anything that infringes upon your peace or your truth. You will find yourself setting boundaries with an ease and finality that will shock even you. You will walk away from conversations, situations, and relationships that are not in alignment with your spirit, without guilt or hesitation. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. The emblem on your armor is a compass, and it will not allow you to move in a direction that compromises your divine integrity. You are no longer available for negotiation. Your peace is non-negotiable. Your truth is non-negotiable. Your connection to the divine is non-negotiable. Embrace this. The emblem is your proof of graduation from the school of earthly attachments. You have learned the ultimate lesson. Your power does not come from what you can gain from the world, but from what the world can no longer take from you. Chapter 6. The active radiance. The armor is no longer just a passive shield or a reflective mirror. It has entered a new phase of activation. It has begun to hum with a low, constant frequency of divine energy, and from it, an active radiance now emanates. This is not a gentle glow. It is a powerful, purposeful broadcast of light. This radiance is a silent, transformative force that reshapes your environment without your conscious effort. It is the reason why your season of grace and blessings feels so effortless. The light that you now emit acts as both a repellent and a magnet. You can feel it as a warmth in your own chest, a low hum that can be felt more than heard. Darkness in all its forms, deceit, manipulation, malice, envy, cannot exist in close proximity to this radiance. It is not that you are pushing it away. It is that the very nature of light dissolves shadows. You will notice that certain people will begin to avoid you instinctively. They will feel uncomfortable in your presence, agitated and antsy without knowing why. Their inner darkness is being agitated by your light. They will make excuses to leave your company. They will stop returning your calls. Allow them to go. Your radiance is performing a divine filtration of your social and energetic circle, removing everything that is not resonant with your ascending frequency. Conversely, this active radiance is a powerful magnet for all that is aligned with your highest good. It attracts purity, truth, integrity, and genuine love. People with sincere hearts and good intentions will be drawn to you, often remarking on how peaceful or calming your presence is. Opportunities aligned with your soul's purpose will find their way to you, guided by the beacon of your light. Resources will appear as if from nowhere, attracted by the high-frequency vibration you are now consistently emitting. This radiance even cleanses the physical spaces you inhabit, neutralizing old, stagnant energies and consecrating the ground upon which you walk. This is the power of being, not doing. In the past, you had to strive, to chase, to fight for what you wanted. Now you simply have to be. Your primary work is to maintain the purity of your inner state, for it is the fuel for this radiance. The more you cultivate peace, joy, and gratitude within, the brighter your light shines and the more powerfully it shapes your external reality. This is your power. It is not in your words or your actions, but in the very frequency you hold. You are becoming a walking, talking pillar of light, a lighthouse in a world of fog. Your presence alone is a form of spiritual warfare and a beacon of hope. You heal and bless the world simply by being who you are. Chapter 7, The Weapon That Prospers. You have been waiting for the final weapon, the one that guarantees your ultimate victory. You have been looking for the sword, the shield, a divine intervention that will strike down your enemies for good. The final revelation is this: the weapon is you. Your healed, sovereign, radiant existence is the only weapon that prospers in this new era. No weapon formed against you shall prosper because you have become the weapon that ends all others. Your peace is a weapon in a world that profits from anxiety and chaos. Your unshakable calm dismantles the very foundation of fear-based control. Your joy is a weapon. In a society that feeds on misery and complaint, your genuine, unprompted happiness is an act of radical rebellion. It proves that a state of grace is possible, rendering their narratives of lack obsolete. Your forgiveness is a weapon, not the cheap grace that allows abuse to continue, but the profound release that cuts the energetic cords to your past tormentors, leaving them stranded with their own toxicity while you ascend untethered. Your prosperity is a weapon. As abundance flows to you with ease, you become living proof that the divine rewards alignment, not struggle. Your success is a testament that shatters the illusion that one must sell their soul to succeed. Your clarity is a weapon, cutting through deception without a single argument. Your very presence has become an environment where lies suffocate and truth thrives. Every breath you take in peace is a blow to the kingdom of turmoil. Every authentic smile that graces your face sends cracks through the facade of misery. Every boundary you hold firm dissolves a link in the chain of control. They wanted you to fight on their terms, with their weapons of anger, revenge, and fear. By refusing to do so, you have won. Your victory is not a future event. It is a present reality. It is not marked by the destruction of your enemies, but by their irrelevance. They have become ghosts, echoes from a timeline you no longer inhabit. Their greatest punishment is not a divine lightning strike, but the simple, devastating fact that you no longer think about them at all. Your focus is no longer on them, on the battle, on the defense. Your focus is on your expansion, your creation, your ascension. The war is over because you chose to ascend from the battlefield. You are the weapon that prospers, and your prosperity is the final verdict.